number one. It's the number one. Why you disown agriculture? I'm talking to the youths of this nation and those wicked politicians, like they want to structure the plan. Well, from to the revolution, agriculture was on top. Man, Jack is and didn't do.
Good morning, Grenada. Good morning, Caribbean. Good morning to the world. Good morning to you. Let us pray.
Father, we thank you for this another day on planet Earth. We do thank you, God, for your protecting mercies over our lives while we all slept. And opening our eyes this morning, oh God, that by itself is a miracle, because many of us, including me that are speaking this morning, didn't know that I would have been alive today and this morning. There are a lot that did not make it. I'm happy to be in the land of the living. Father, I thank you for your grace. I thank you for your mercies. I thank you for your love towards me, my family, and other families, Lord. And as we wake up this morning to see the rising of the sun, give us that faith to believe that we will see the going down will be the same. This morning we bring the agriculture program before you, God, as usual. We thank you, God, for all those that educate us. We thank you, God, for the love that thou hast put in their heart to take so much a great interest. Many of them will leave their home to come to the radio station. They can be able to teach us the way forward where agriculture is concerned. We thank you, God, for our farmers this morning. We thank you, God, for the rain that thou hast bestowed upon the soil where they are about to till. We also thank you, God, for the sun, O God, that shines upon the crop to strengthen it and to bring proper yield in, O God. No man could not have done that. So for this, we say thank you. We bring, O God, the radio station this morning. We ask you, God, to touch every piece of equipment and let that radio station function well, O God, that it can be able to continue to educate Grenada. We also present before you the management and staff. We ask you, God, to strengthen them. As many of them left the home to come to the station this morning, give them mercies journeys. We thank you, God, for all our farmers, all those that have already left the home, all those that are planning to leave, all those that will be climbing the mountain, all those that will be crossing the river. We ask you, God, to give them strength and protect them. And for the families that are left at home, asking you, God, to watch over them until they return. Father, this time we bring the fishermen who go out to the ocean to get a catch. We ask you, God, to watch over them. Protect the engine, protect the boat, oh God. Sometimes it's not easy out there. We ask you, God, to take them from one part and then bring them back safe to us, oh God. Father, I bring Grenada before you. I'm pleading for
Sometimes you just gotta just let it flow. Good morning. What's up? Me, I'm good. I believe I'm good. I have to do a little test this morning. I was supposed to do it earlier on, but didn't get here in time. Yeah. So I am going to try it in a minute. As soon as I yeah. Behave yourself now. And somebody just calling me there. Just behave for the time being. Oh, well, somebody messaged me and said, "What's wrong with Pastor this morning? You don't want to talk to you? What have you done to Pastor?" Nothing. It's just that there are moments like these. There are moments like these, and there will continue to be moments like these as you go along in life. And sometimes it throws you off too, because it kind of threw me off. I didn't expect that from him this morning. But as they say, when the Spirit touches you in that oh so special way, yeah, when it touches you, it touches you. So I guess that's it this morning with him. Yeah, we probably speak to him later today. Don't know. So, what's good? How was your night? My night was okay, I believe, but I overslept. Yeah, I did. You know, and I overslept really, really bad because when I caught myself and I looked at the time, I looked at the phone, looked at the time. It was 2 minutes after 6 o'clock. No. I did have a shower. Albeit it was a very quick one. I did. So, yeah, it was 2 minutes after 6 o'clock when I caught the time this morning and I woke. I was like, God damn it. You know, this morning is Thursday morning. I got to be at the station. So I rushed it. I rushed in. So don't worry. We all good. We cool. So I made it in just enough time. So that Maxine, good morning to you. Gemma Walwood, what's up, girl? You all right? How you doing? How's your husband? He's hoping that you guys are really good, Gemma. To all the listeners of Real FM, top of the morning to you. And as I always say to you, I have a whole ass. How are you? I know you're there. As I always say to you, when you latch on, when you start to listen, it's important that you hit that like button. It's important that you subscribe. You could send a message out. It's important that the channel grows. We have to start speaking to people in Australia, in Papua New Guinea, New Zealand, and those places, Seychelles Island. Yeah, you have to start speaking to people in those areas. Why? Because the culture of Grenada has to be shared, And I believe, honestly, that Real FM is the only, and you could say what you want, you could say what you sure enough. Real FM is the only station that's qualified to share the culture of Grenada throughout. There's no other station that's qualified to share it. No other station qualified to share the culture of Grenada like we are qualified to do. Why? Well, when you listen to us, you hear a Grenadian station. You don't hear a station that's struggling to speak like other people, and struggling to, not struggling, but proudly playing other people's music as opposed to ours. No, you don't hear that. You understand? You don't hear that. And that is important. Nonetheless, I'm here. Drumsticks, she should call in a couple of minutes and then we'll have the weather. It started to rain when I was coming in this morning. Not too sure what it is like on the outside at this particular point in time, but it started to rain when I was coming in this morning. Nothing like a cup of coffee in the morning. No, 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 I'm not addicted to coffee. Are you crazy? No, 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 no. I'm not addicted to. It's just that I like coffee. Oh, Iva, good morning. I knew you were there. I knew that, Iva. Here's something I'd like to say. I don't believe, I'm not sure that government has issued anything in relation to it at this point in time. But sometimes they never do. But there's something I'd really and truly love to share with you. It has to do with the whole aspect of COVID. Yeah, COVID-19, that thing. Now, listen to this and listen very carefully. Yeah? I believe, as much as possible, as much as you possibly can at this particular point in time, please follow the procedures. Because based on what I'm doing, my little research I'm doing in relation to COVID at this time, it is said that there's no cough, there's no fever. You have joint pains, you have headache, you have neck pains, you have upper back pains, pneumonia, a general loss of appetite. Yeah, those are the symptoms. You lose your appetite, you have pneumonia, upper back pain, neck pain, headache, joint pain. Those are things you would feel. I believe that there is somebody from St. Patrick. I've heard, there's somebody from St. Patrick who is or was. I'm not too sure if the person is still there, but that person had gone to hospital as it relates to COVID. I heard that. That is terrible. I mean, we here at Real FM, we have already established a certain level of protocol. We have not yet insisted on wearing mask. We have not yet insisted on wearing mask. But you never know. The manager might decide that she's going to insist on persons wearing mask. And therefore, we'd like those of you who are coming to do business at Real FM once we insist, because we let you know that we've insisted. But what we have done already is that we have established the sanitizing protocol, which when you enter Real FM, you'll see a sign, and we ask you to follow the sign. Follow what the sign says. It will just basically tell you to stop. And then you'd stop and wait on attention from someone, and someone will sanitize your hands and stuff. So as to show you how we have established our protocol here. Joycelyn Francois, good morning to you, and have a God blessed day. Here's hoping that you live to see many more days to come like this one. Who is celebrating a birthday today? I don't know, but if you are celebrating a birthday today, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. And here's hoping that you will live to see many, 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 many more birthdays to come. Good morning, Drumsticks.
Hello, good morning.
Talk to me, love.
Good morning to the nation. I read from the word of God, Psalm 23. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the pathway of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I shall fear no evil. For thou art with me, thy rod and thy staff will comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of my enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil, and my cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Amen.
Amen. How are you this morning?
I'm good.
Rain by your side?
Yes, rain by my side. Yes.
Okay, well, stay dry.
Thank God for the rain, and I learned yesterday that The home where Jacob is closing down mountains. I don't know how true it is.
It's closing down.
Yeah, I don't know how true it is.
That's interesting.
Donald.
Good morning,
I don't
girl.
know where they put her. I don't know.
All right.
So if you can find out, but I don't know.
All right. We'll make some phone calls today and find out what's going on.
Yeah. Okay then.
Okay.
You have a nice day.
You too, my dear. Take care.
Yeah. All right. Bye-bye.
All right. Good.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Could somebody enlighten us on that? What's the name of that home again? It's in just after Malmon Junction. I think, is it Malmon Junction? Yeah, Malmon Junction. Just after that, where the bus stop is. That home there on the right-hand side going to St. George's. Yeah, that home there. Does anybody know anything about it? If you do, then you can let us know. So, what was I talking about before that? Don't remember. So we move on to a new subject matter. We should be having an interview this morning with a young lady who is representing this morning. That's Miss Rhea Murray. I think she's representing the Grenada Development Bank. Yeah. So listen up for that. This is real. This is 91. Stay with us.
I tell you just now, my brothers, all you go with them computers.
This is 50 years of Calypso excellence as Made in Grenada presents Calypso at 50 featuring Unlucky.
I must go back, my little island is calling.
The original Inspector. Flying Turkey, Lady Cinty, Smokey, Peter Humphrey, Randy Isaac, Woodsman Kelly, Squeezy, Scholar, Black Wizard, and Chamo, and the Hitman Inspector. One stage, one night, Sunday, February 11th, 6 p.m. sharp at the Grenada National Cricket Stadium. Tickets are $50 and are available at Canadian Optical, Town and Grandad's, Mitchell's Wellness, Grandad's, St. David Pharmacy, Max's More, and St. Andrew Pharmacy, Calico, Sates, Shizemore, Licks and Bites, and GoToFed.com. The hits, the classics, the performances as Grenada celebrates 50. Sponsored by Flow, Brighton and Miners, Antillean Group, Spicyle Auto Rental, Wayne Mitchell, Glenelg, Springwater, Grenada Bottling Company, Grenada Distillers, makers of Gladscott Rum. Sunday, February 11th, 6 p.m. Grenada National Stadium. This is 50 years of Calypso excellence.
Psst. Hey, you. Why pay high prices to watch TV or struggle with apps on your Fire Stick? For only $2.75 per year or $75 for 3 months, you can have unlimited access to thousands of live TV channels, including news, sports, entertainment, and much more. All you need is a Fire Stick, Android device, or smart TV. Too good to be true? Then try our free trial for 36 hours before you buy. Interested? Then call or WhatsApp DP Marketing on 457-3546 or 538-9026. That's 457-3546 or 538-9026. DP Marketing. We bring the world to you.
In an industry where customers expect quality, M&N Hardware Limited is a leader in locally manufactured aluminum windows, doors, roofing, and guttering. Our manufacturing division is efficient, flexible, and will always go the extra mile to surpass customer expectations. If you need security, sash, casement, or projected windows, we're able to do it. Our security and heavy-duty doors are state-of-the-art and can be customized specifically for you. Using innovative coating technologies and protective film, our roofing and guttering is weather-resistant, providing outstanding color retention for many years. Available in 24 and 26 gauge and a variety of color options. We are the leading company, a family that is proving to customers they can have their dream products. M&N Hardware Limited. Foundation to roof, let's build together.
Yes.
In a couple of ticks, we're getting ready to go over to the
Number one.
Met Office
Number one.
for the latest.
That's the number one.
In relation to the weather
The number one. It's the number one.
for today. Caribbean, good morning. Good morning, Grenada. Good morning to the WORLD. How you folks doing this morning? Just that you're having a wonderful morning. Me, I'm cool. I'm good. Remember I said we are going to be speaking with Rhea Murray this morning. Yeah, that's around about 7:30, in about 6 or 7 minutes or so. Should be speaking to her, but of course there's a test that we have to make this morning, and we'll do it, and then we'll go to the weather. So the first thing we're going to do is to add. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, yeah, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Okay, okay, hold on. Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, so how about this? Are you hearing me?
Yes, I am.
Yes, you are hearing me, and I am not hearing you. So let's do this. Are you hearing me still?
Yes, I am.
Okay. How about this? Am I gonna hear you now? No, I'm not hearing you. Let's do this.
Because I wasn't speaking.
Are you hearing me?
Yes, I am.
Okay. So this. Are you there?
Yes, I am.
This doesn't look good again. This doesn't look good. Your face is pretty and everything. You don't have to squint or anything. Just be relaxed and that's all. But
It is echoing like crazy.
I'm trying to realize why is it I'm not hearing it? Because I should be hearing it. All things. Okay, so if I do this, am I echoing? Nod your head.
Yes, you are.
I'm echoing still.
Yep.
Okay. I have a feeling the listeners are hearing you. Just don't want to hear it. She just went up. I have no reason why. Yeah, I'm just trying to get this. It doesn't look like it. She just.
So I'm not sure if it's going to be better.
Hold on. You just hold on right there. Okay. Somebody's calling. Let me get that person online. Good morning.
We are hearing you. I don't know why you're not hearing the lady you want to hear, but we are hearing you.
You hearing her?
No, I'm hearing you.
You hearing me? Okay, good. Thanks, Cliff. Good, one love. So Cliff says that they are hearing me. You are hearing me. You don't have to put on your glasses.
Oh my God, it's so loud. It's echoing like crazy.
You're doing what I'm not asking you to do. So if you follow my instructions, then I will. Okay, I get it. Can you speak?
Wow. Yes, I can speak.
We'd have to cancel that. I'm sorry.
Yes. Agriculture is the number one. Number one. That's the number one. Oh yes. The number one. It's the number one. Why you disown agriculture? I'm talking to the youths of this nation. And those wicked politicians, like they want to structure the plan. Well, from the revolution, agriculture was on top. Man jack this and didn't do too bad. After that, you know the whole thing flop. Why? Everybody want to sit down in computer, and they forget agriculture. Oh yes, everybody want to sit down in computer, agriculture, and they forget agriculture. Oh yes, everybody want to sit down in computer. You put me without clothes, and they forget agriculture. Everybody want to sit down in computer. I tell you just now, my brothers, all you go with them computers. Lord. We used to ship plenty nectars all the way down to Trinidad during the revolution. We used to use up all the foods that we had. When we could do nutmeg and banana was at the highest level. Now the youth them don't want to take over from the elders and continue. Oh, that's why everybody want to sit down in computer, and they forget agriculture. Oh yes, everybody want to sit down in computer.
As we continue in the morning time on your favorite radio station, that's none other than Real 91.9, 91.5, www.realfmgrenada.com. It's time for us to make that link with our friends at the Morris Bishop International Airport Meteorological Office. You know, these people, they work day in, day out. Do you understand what I'm saying? Day in, day out. They're there. 24/7, 365, 48/4. Let's say good morning to our dear friend, and that's Trisha Miller. Good morning, Trish.
Good morning to you, and good morning to listeners of Real FM. It's a cloudy morning here at the airport with some light showers. Winds are from the east at 15 miles per hour. Barometric pressure 1015.6 millibars, which is above the mean, and it's rising. Present temperature 25.1 degrees Celsius. Relative humidity 94%. Yesterday's maximum temperature was 30.2 degrees Celsius, and the minimum temperature last night was 25.1 degrees Celsius. Over the past 24 hours, 1.3 millimeters of rainfall were recorded here at the MBIA. This brings the total for the month so far to 52.5 millimeters. Now the public forecast valid for today and tonight for Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique. The weather is expected to be partly cloudy to cloudy and windy, with light to moderate showers, which should improve by this evening. Winds east-northeasterly to easterly at 15 to 25 miles per hour, gusting higher at times. Today's maximum temperature is expected to get up to 30 degrees Celsius. Seas moderate to rough, waves 6 to 9 feet in open waters. A marine advisory remains in effect. Tide should be high around 8:30 a.m. and low about 3 p.m. Sunset this evening at 6:02. Sunrise tomorrow morning at 6:32. So just to recap, the weather is expected to be partly cloudy to cloudy and windy, with light to moderate showers, which should improve this evening. From the Met Office, Trisha Miller.
I was thinking about going on a picnic, but it looks like I can still go this evening, not today.
Yeah.
I can make it this evening, right?
You should be able to make it this evening.
All right, picnic, here I come. Take care, yourself, Trish.
Okay, bye.
All right, bye-bye. Trisha Miller at the Morris Bishop International Airport Meteorological Office. And thanks again, Trisha, and have yourself a wonderful day. And what we do here? Oh, yeah. So, what gives it, y'all? Oh, 7:30. It's just about time for me to make connection with the lovely young lady at the, well, not at the whatever. We're going to be speaking to her for about 15 minutes or so. So let's make that call and we'll be speaking, as I indicated, to Miss Rhea Murray. And Rhea Murray is the communications manager at the Grenada Development Bank. And we're going to be speaking in relation to the adaptation of Grenada to Access Climate Resilience Fund that's available at the bank. Yeah, they got some money there, you know. Since that was launched back in the March, my birthday, the 31st of March back in 2022. And since then, they have had some 54 projects that have been approved. The implementation, I don't know, just that the projects I know have been approved to the tune of $2,442,852.17. So citizen can qualify for up to 200,000 EC dollars with an interest rate of 2% annually. Yeah.
Everybody want to sit down in computer.
Good morning, Grenada. Good morning. I almost said Vietnam.
Everybody want to sit down in computer. You could live without clothes and never get agriculture. Everybody want to sit down in computer. I tell you just now, my brothers, all you know is them computers. Used to ship plenty nectars all the way down to Trinidad during the revolution. We used to use up all the fruit that we had. When the cocoa, nutmeg and banana was at the highest level, now the youth them don't want to take over from the elders and continue. Oh, that's why everybody want to sit down in computer and never get agriculture. Oh yes, everybody want to sit down in computer. Agriculture and never get agriculture. Oh yes, everybody want to sit down in computer. You could live without clothes and never get agriculture. Everybody want to sit down in computer. I tell you just now, my brothers, all you go with them computers. Lord, Lord, Lord. All over the world you go, agriculture is number one. Soil is so rich and pure, but the youths cannot understand. Well, all the education you have, man, still can't ignore the soil. Everybody want to work in office, and I know the reason why. Yes, man, everybody want to sit down in computer and never get agriculture. Oh yes, everybody want to sit down in computer, agriculture. Well,
I did indicate to you that we'll be speaking to Ms. Rhea Murray this morning for about 15 minutes or so. And we're supposed to be doing it by a feature called StreamYard. Well, you see, the stream really in the yard this morning, maybe because the yard kind of disappoint me. So I am not able to bring up the goodly lady that I'd love to, because I myself haven't seen her for a while, but I know she's fine because I just spoke to her. I would love to bring her up on the screen, but unfortunately I'm not able to do so this morning. The stream and the yard, as I said, disappointed me. But speaking to Rhea this morning, we'll find out about what is called a revolving fund. at the Grenada Development Bank, and it's aimed to assist us as Grenadians, those of us who want to improve our homes, our properties, small businesses, in order to become more climate resilient. Now, that's the important word here this morning. Ensuring that Grenada becomes more climate resilient. And I don't think that this conversation deserves a better intro, if I can put it that way. So let me say good morning to Ms. Murray. Good morning. How are you, my dear?
Good morning. It's a pleasure to be on Real FM, and I am doing quite well.
Nice to hear you, man. I haven't heard you since last year. Last year I talked to you. That's a long time, and a whole year passed.
A long time ago, and I was somewhere else, but now I'm at the Grenada Development Bank.
You said that like how they say it in Parliament, in the other place. That's how they say it in Parliament. They ain't gonna say,
right.
Well, the guy in the Senate. No, in the other place. Boy. Anyway, so how's the family, Rhea? Everybody okay?
Yes, everybody is doing well. Thank God for that, and I really do hope it continues like that throughout the year.
Well, most definitely. I was trying to do an intro in relation to our conversation that we're going to be having for the next couple of minutes or so. And I'm not too sure if I did justice. I'll be hoping that I did. But maybe you are in a better position. Not maybe. You are definitely in a better position to tell us about the revolving fund that exists at the Grenada Development Bank in relation to climate resilience. Tell us.
All right. So the program or the fund that we have, the full name is the Enhanced Direct Access Climate Adaptation Revolving Fund. And it is financed by the Green Climate Fund through the government of Grenada. And of course, the GDB is the one administering the loans, doing all the groundwork in terms of helping people fill out their applications and get up to the point of funding. Now, this fund is all about empowering Grenadians to make their homes and their businesses more climate resilient. So there are a number of interventions that can happen under this funding. But the key thing to take away is that, yes, we're dealing with climate resilience for your home and business, but the target audience is our vulnerable populations in Grenada. So what do we mean by vulnerable populations? We have low-income households, people with special needs or living with disabilities, single-parent households. So they would normally want to elevate themselves in life. They may not have the money to do so. They may be living in places that are prone to, let's say, disasters, flooding, erosion, whatever it is. Or they may have a house that they want to fix up to be able to withstand hurricane-force winds. But they don't have the money or the commercial banks, other financial institutions may not necessarily look at them. So this funding is for our vulnerable populations. And just to tell you what the funding can be used for, there are about 6 or 7 main areas. So we have water management and efficiency. So you can install water saving technology, water conservation technology, efficiency in your home so that you can cut your water consumption and your bill. If you have outdoor plumbing and not outdoor plumbing, but you have outdoor bathroom facilities and you want indoor plumbing inside bathroom, that's something that's covered as well. Roof insulations. You can build a safe room or a bunker, meaning you have a house, right? It may be board or some other material, but you're only able to afford one room, which you can build up to the standard of withstanding a hurricane, so that if a hurricane does come, while the other parts of the house may be damaged, you have that one room that you and your family can live out of until, you put back the roof or you fix up the house. Structural adjustments, so that increase climate resilience. So reinforcement of the roof, fixing of the roof to withstand hurricane winds, replacement of windows and doors. Then you have flooding and erosion control. So sometimes persons have houses when it rains, the water runs under the house, digs into the foundation. So you can do a new drainage system that takes water away from your house and also retaining walls. We also have renewable energy systems. So if you want to invest in solar panels or solar water heaters. So those are the interventions under the program.
Okay. Now, I'm looking here and looking at some information that I have in front of me, and you spoke of doing over your roof, fixing the roof, water conservation, and also you spoke about flooding beneath houses. But I did not hear, I'm not sure you spoke of it, I did not hear you speak to renewable energy. Does it cover that, and to what extent?
Yes, so it does cover renewable energy systems. So you may look at energy efficient appliances, solar PV systems, that's the solar panels, or also you can consider solar water heaters. So instead of the ones that use electricity and your bill goes up on a monthly basis, if you install a solar water heater, then you can lower your electricity costs. So so renewable energy systems are covered with the funding.
Okay, great. Good news. Now, let's look at qualification. And the word qualification now I'm going to apply to me or anybody else qualifying for funding. What qualifies me?
Right. So, as I said, the target is vulnerable population. So, of course, there is a rating system that we have, which is a list of criteria. Some of the things that are in this criteria includes the total income coming into the household, and so the total income coming into the household. It looks at considerations as to where the home is, what exactly is the issue. So there's this rating system that our EDA officer will go through with a potential candidate or applicant, and then once you meet the criteria through the rating system, then the process will move forward towards funding.
Okay. Now, is this a situation where yes, I'm qualifying for funding here, but most times that you have to come up with a certain amount, or you have to come up with some sort of a collateral as it relates to the funding. Is it that situation here, or we don't go through that?
So basically this is a soft loan. So you can get, actually the maximum you can get in funding is 200,000 EC dollars at an interest rate of 2%. But we know the economic situation. We know how difficult it is now for vulnerable populations. So it is a soft loan. So while there will be control mechanisms, monitoring mechanisms, in terms of securing the loan, security and other things like that will be very soft, or not as stringent as it would be with other loan facilities, because at the end of the day, as the development bank administering this program, what we really want to do is help our vulnerable population.
Okay, great. Now, you would have done, meaning the bank, you guys would have done a number of projects already. Are you able to give us information as it relates to what I can consider to be successful projects that have been completed under the fund?
I'm so happy that you asked that question, because we have been seeing the program working and assisting Grenadians or our vulnerable populations. So far, we have had 54 projects approved, but we've seen an influx of people coming in asking about the program and wanting to get funding. We've approved so far just over 2.4 million EC dollars worth of projects, and we've been seeing a range of successful projects, from the building of retaining walls to control soil erosion, home structural improvements to withstand hurricane-force winds, renewable energy solutions such as solar panels, and we're also seeing a lot of water storage projects. So because confidentiality is a big thing at the bank, we cannot call names, but I can just share with you a resident of Caliste. He said the EDA project was a timely intervention, and he actually invested in the purchase of 2 800-gallon water tanks for additional water storage, because in the dry season, Caliste, it's a very arid area, so it was an issue with having steady water supply. So now he says he has a steady water supply due to his investment in the 2 800-gallon water tanks. Wonderful. And then we had a loan recipient from Beaton who invested in a solar water heater, and she invested in the replumbing of her home, and she had a new drainage system for erosion control. And she said she has been saving over $40 on her electricity bill monthly. And the installation, she also installed a solar water heater. And, so with the new, and so it was a solar water heater. She's been saving $40 on her electricity bill monthly, and then she had a new drainage system, and so water is no longer undermining the foundation of her home. Wonderful. And then we had a resident in Cathay St. Andrews, and she was able to accomplish something major in her life, that of repairing her home and installing inside bathroom and toilet facilities. And she said she was glad that she could leave her children in a better position. Wonderful. So it really warms our hearts when we hear how successful this program has been and how it is helping our citizens in terms of climate resilience, and also just making their lives so much better. And this program was actually launched in 2019, so we are coming to the end of the funding cycle of this program. So we really don't want anybody to get left. That's why we're telling as many people as possible to come forward and apply for funding.
Here's a big question. What would you say is your implementation rate at this time? We've heard some good stories there, but how does that speak to implementation?
Right. So of the 54 projects, all of them are at some stage, but I would say it's about 75% in terms of completion, and the other projects are on their way.
Okay, wonderful. Churches, community groups, and by community groups, I mean those who are probably in control of community centers and so. Can they get involved with this funding?
Yes. So what we're encouraging for the churches and the community groups, they may have better knowledge, intricate knowledge in terms of the people living in their communities, the people who would need assistance. So if any church or community group is interested, they can call the GDB at 440-2382 and ask for one of our officers, myself or any one of the other officers, to come and do a presentation to their congregation or to their grouping so that they could understand the Enhanced Direct Access Climate Adaptation Revolving Fund a little more, and then pass on that information to their as I said, their congregation, the people in their community, so that they can come forward to access the funding.
This project has a lot of futuristic thinking about it. However, how does that project take into consideration what can be, well, not what can, what are shelters in relation to natural disasters? Like, if a community center is designated as a shelter, do you believe that the community can come together, if the group is really strong, can come together, apply for funding that will do renovation maybe to the community center, install water tanks, and probably look at the drainage around? Is it possible for a community group to access the funding for such?
Right. So just thinking about it, it's a project that would be based in terms of climate resilience. So I can see something like that being funded under the program.
You could see that happening.
I could see it. But as I said, our project officer would make the determination for that, but it definitely falls into the sector of climate resilience.
What happens if someone comes to you? Hey, here's a trick question now, Ria. You know I always do this. What happens if someone comes to you and says, hey, you know what? I am at present building. However, I did not take into consideration when I went to the bank, I did not take into consideration the whole aspect of climate resilience. Now I believe that I want to include something like this in the whole construction process, so I don't have to do it 5 years, 10 years down the road. Would the bank be interested in coming on board with someone like that?
Okay, so in that case, how the program is set up presently, it's for people who already have a building, not for persons who are building.
Okay.
So that's just the constraint. That's just the constraint at the moment.
At this particular point in time. Great.
Yes.
Now, my final question for you this morning, Murray, is people who are interested, someone hearing this now for the very first time. And as you mentioned a short while ago, that the program started in 19 and is coming to a close, which means that it's winding down. How does a person speed up that? What do they do in relation to a project like this, wanting to get involved?
All right. So to get involved, they can call the GDB at 440-2382. That's 440-2382. They can ask for myself, Ria, the communications officer, or they can ask to be put onto the EDA department. And what we would do is to take their information, all their details, their contact, where they live, what project idea that they have in mind, and then the EDA officer would call them, have a conversation, and then there would be a site visit to see the actual property, the building, where the intervention would take place, and move from there to the application process. There's also the option of WhatsApp. So persons can call WhatsApp 405-3242. That's 405-3242 on WhatsApp. And there will be someone there to answer your questions, also to take information for the EDA program, and then we'll pass that on to the EDA department so that they can get the ball rolling with the application process. So
go ahead.
You can call 440-2382 or WhatsApp 405-3242.
Is it that the funds are finishing, or is it that the time period that was set out at the beginning, the sunset time that was set out at the beginning, is that the case, or is it the case that the bank is probably looking at another venture which speaks to climate resilience that they want to get into? What is it?
So at this point, there was a time set for the program and for the funding. So that time period is coming to an end. So we want to be able to disperse all the funds that we were given under the program to help as many persons as we can. In terms of the future, the GDB is always on the lookout for opportunities to get lines of funding for climate resilience. So once that happens and something is secured, we would definitely let the public know.
Ria Murray, thank you so very much for enlightening my listeners this morning. And of course, Real FM will continue to work with you and of course with your institution to ensure that maximum benefits are given to Grenadians at all times.
Thank you, and it has been an absolute pleasure speaking with you this morning on the EDA program.
I haven't seen you for a long time, girl. We need to do some, have a drink one of these days.
One of these days, or when one of the elusive times that you come to St. George's.
Well, I don't come to the city like that, yeah.
Oh.
Take care, Sabria. Have a great one.
Oh, have a great day.
All right, bye-bye now. Good.
Bye.
9 to 1. Stay with us.
Gittins Home and Garden Center, your main pillar for agricultural supplies in Grenada. We supply fertilizers, herbicides, seedlings and nursery supplies, diesel water pumps, walk-behind tillers, organic and environmentally friendly agricultural inputs. We're serving you from 2 locations at Birch Grove and booth 34 at the Vendors Market in Grenville. Cost-effective agricultural solutions for all your needs. Visit Gittins Home and Garden Center for the best in everything agriculture. Call us on 409-2175 or 438-4337. Gittins Home and Garden Center, from your farm to your backyard.
It is said, the proof of the pudding is in the eating. Therefore, the authenticity of the beverage can only be acquired in the taste. A taste which is original to Antoine de Beauregard Industries and comes from a combination of spices and local rum, which can hold its own all over the world. Woodman, a strength which speaks for itself. A taste which stands out from the rest, bottled with care, which speaks to perfection. Try Woodman today and be stunned by a flavor as never before. Let your palate savor that which is produced locally. Do not be deterred by substandard products. Our taste speaks volumes and sets us apart from the competition. You will be satisfied with every sip of our product. Say rum, say Woodman, feel satisfaction. Now that's quality.
Tourism is me, tourism is you, tourism is everybody, and tourism connects us all.
Did you know that tourism generates revenue and foreign exchange earnings?
Did you know it stimulates infrastructural development and facilitates cultural exchange among people?
You must know tourism is linked to all industries,
from agriculture to construction.
So support the industry today and be welcoming to all our visitors.
Tourism is my business. Tourism is your business. Tourism is our business. Listen one and all. Tourism connects us all.
A message from the Ministry of Tourism
and the Grenada Tourism Authority.
In an industry where customers expect quality, M&N Hardware Limited is a leader in locally manufactured aluminum windows, doors, roofing, and guttering. Our manufacturing division is efficient, flexible, and will always go the extra mile to surpass customer expectations. If you need security, sash, casement, or projected windows, we're able to do it. Our security and heavy-duty doors are state-of-the-art and can be customized specifically for you. Using innovative coating technologies and protective film, our roofing and guttering is weather-resistant, providing outstanding color retention for many years. Available in 24 and 26 gauge and a variety of color options. We are the leading company, a family that is proving to customers they can have their dream products. M&N Hardware Limited. Foundation to roof, let's build together.
Are you concerned about the impact of climate change on your home or business? The Enhanced Direct Access Climate Adaptation Revolving Fund at the Grenada Development Bank can make your worries a thing of the past. The fund offers concessional financing to households and businesses, focusing on vulnerable populations such as lower-income families and persons with special needs. You could qualify for up to EC $200,000 with an incredibly low interest rate of just 2% annually. With this funding, you can make essential improvements such as building retaining walls for erosion control, making structural improvements to withstand hurricanes, and installing water-efficient bathroom solutions. Take action today. Contact the GDB at 440-2382 to learn more about how you can apply for this funding opportunity. Let's work together to create a climate-resilient nation. The Enhanced Direct Access Project is financed by the Green Climate Fund through the Government of Grenada.
Run wild. Surround yourself in a world of color. Color by Sissons. Endless inspiration. Bold expression. Bold expression. Color by Sissons.
Sissons. Express your style with Color by Sissons.
Have you had Boston on your travel bucket list? Well, we've got some exciting news for you. JetBlue is thrilled to announce its new non-stop flight every Saturday from Grenada's Maurice Bishop International Airport to the vibrant city of Boston. Now you can embark on your Boston adventure without any layovers. JetBlue is making it easier than ever to explore this incredible destination. Whether you're visiting family or friends, exploring for the first time, or simply experiencing Boston life, JetBlue has you covered with a convenient non-stop flight, complete with comfortable seating, complimentary snacks, and an array of entertainment options. You'll arrive in Boston feeling relaxed and ready to explore. So now's the time. Visit jetblue.com to book your flight and bring Boston closer to Grenada. Let your adventure begin.
Gittins Home and Garden Center, your main pillar for agricultural supplies in Grenada. We supply fertilizers, herbicides, seedlings and nursery supplies, diesel water pumps, walk behind tillers, organic and environmentally friendly agricultural inputs. We're serving you from 2 locations at Birch Grove and booth 34 at the Vendors Market in Grenville. Cost-effective agricultural solutions for all your needs. Visit Gittins Home and Garden Center for the best in everything agriculture. Call us on 409-2175 or 438-4337. Gittins Home and Garden Center, from your farm to your backyard.
It is said, the proof of the pudding is in the eating. Therefore, the authenticity of the beverage can only be acquired in the taste. A taste which is original to Antoine de Beauregard Industries and comes from a combination of spices and local rum, which can hold its own all over the world. Woodman, a strength which speaks for itself. A taste which stands out from the rest. Bottled with care, which speaks to perfection. Try Woodman today and be stunned by a flavor as never before. Let your palate savor that which is produced locally. Do not be deterred by substandard products. Our taste speaks volumes and sets us apart from the competition. You will be satisfied with every sip of our product. Say rum, say Woodman, feel satisfaction. Now that's quality.
Yes, agriculture is the number one. Number one, yes, the number one. Oh yes, the number one. It's the number one.
Good morning, Grenada. Good morning, Caribbean. Good morning to the WORLD. Yes, Andre Donald still with you this morning. and I'm going to be here for the next 55 minutes thereabouts. Did say since last week, as a matter of fact, he called in and he asked me a trick question last week, and I believe I was able to answer the trick question, and he did indicate that he was going to be here this week. And true to word, Dr. Twine is here. Dr. Twine, top of the morning to you, and thanks for coming again another Thursday.
Well, good morning, Andre, and one more time, thank you for allowing me and the privilege of being with you this beautiful Thursday morning.
Hey, what's up? How's the weather like coming to St. Patrick? Rain?
Raining dogs and cats, as we say. Until I got to Granborough, Salisbury Road, Canal Road, and the East Coast is fairly, no water, no rain. Really.
No rain.
So all the rain is up in the Rain City, Birch Grove.
In the middle of the island. Somebody says Birch Grove.
Grandetown.
They didn't tell me Grandetown. They say Birch Grove and Boca.
Oh, okay.
Bolio and Bathroom. They all start with B. and it's synonymous with water.
Vada, yes.
Yeah, so, you expect rain in the middle of the island a lot.
Yeah,
but that's good too, because based on the topography of our country, once we have rain in the inners, then the other parts of the island, they benefit because of water flow, innit?
Well, that's true. Also, it helps to ensure a certain moisture content in the soil. That's important for agricultural purposes. So that reduces the need for irrigation, say, in the mountainous higher elevations, as compared to the requirement in the low elevations, say, like the Paradise, Dunfermline area, in a conference area. Yeah, so that's a very important point. Yeah,
very important.
Yeah,
Doc, you're here this morning with your two ICs not here, meaning Dalton. Where's Dalton these days? But is he okay though?
He's okay. I spoke with him yesterday. He said he's going to join us this morning on the program. He's going to call in. So I hope he does,
Okay, there's somebody online. Let me see who that is. Good morning. Hello?
Now one.
Good morning. Yeah, well, that person doesn't seem like they want to talk to us. Spice.
Yes.
Yeah. Before, which is like, I would say 40, 50 years ago. Yeah, I'm that old. 40, 50 years ago, when I hear spice, I think cinnamon.
Most Grenadians do.
Yeah.
Yes.
When I hear spice today, I'm thinking, which one are they talking about?
Very good.
Because we have so many.
Very correct. And hence the reason why we were originally referred to and still referred to as Isle of Spice. And a lot of people in the North America, for example, would, when you say you're from Grenada, and they say, I mean, Isle of Spice? Yes. So that's interesting.
So, but it's no longer cinnamon. When I hear spice, I don't think cinnamon anymore.
Very good.
I have to think about pimento. I have to think about turmeric. I have to think about clove.
Yes.
And different ones.
And one interesting point is we tend to overlook the fact that the biggest spice, or the spice of greatest value and production in Grenada, is still the nutmeg. The nutmeg is the biggest sector of the spice industry in Grenada, but we don't see it in that light. We just see it just as another agricultural crop like cocoa. Well, yes, but you're also right. The second biggest spice we have in Grenada is the cinnamon. Yeah, and yes, people tend to refer to the cinnamon as spice. Yes.
That's the only thing, spice.
Yes.
You think spice, you think cinnamon.
You think cinnamon, correct. But we want to change that sentiment, because the spices we have are of tremendous value, right? But before we go any further, I want to read a quotation from this book by Wani and others, Singh and Kumar. And the quotation basically reflects the major importance and value of spices. So you allow me to?
Sure. Why not?
There are several herbs and spices from which certain phytochemicals, such as polyphenols, flavonoids, tannins, terpenoids, can be extracted, and which have the potential to diminish the onset of tumor development by retarding the phenomenon of carcinogenesis, tumor angiogenesis, while encouraging tumor cell differentiation, apoptosis. End of quote.
What is that in English?
Simple translation.
Yeah.
Spices have significant medicinal values that we as a people are not aware of, period. We talk about the herbs or the bushes we use for colds and fever and pain, right? But we don't associate the spices are having similar, even greater effect in many cases. And so one of the things I would like to do this morning is to highlight 4 major ailments that affect us generally, and the specific spices that can assist in some way or the other in helping to prevent that problem. But before I go into that though, recently I read an article online where Tufts University, I think it's in Massachusetts, they've just set up an institute called the Institute of Food as a Medicine.
Food?
Yes, as a medicine.
Which would mean the change of your diet.
Maybe, but not necessarily.
Okay.
The focus there is, based on the reading I got, was that they would be looking at the way various food nutrients affect and influence our health.
But that's a common thing. Everybody knows.
You would have thought.
That's a common thing.
But they told, we say in Grenada, for example, if you eat certain foods, it will help to prevent certain ailments. True or false? Well, that's the approach they're taking.
Yeah, well, we've done that a long time ago.
Yeah, but we never understood the science behind it.
Well, I would agree.
And we're losing that aspect of our culture as well, right?
Yes, we are. Speedily so.
Right. Which is why ABE has recently decided to embark on a program where we're going to be interviewing a number of people, as many as we can, especially the elderly who have that kind of knowledge, but it's not written down. So we can document it, attach the biography to that article or content, and make it a document that we can archive and becomes available for future reference. Because we're losing that knowledge that our senior people have, and we have not been able to capture it, document it, and have it in record. And so the younger people like you and myself, we're not too familiar with far too many of the various herbs and bushes and spices we have, and their specific medicinal values. And so the whole question of the spice at this point is we're discussing the spice at this point is to highlight the role that our spices do play and can play and will play, continue to play, in helping to prevent various ailments or sicknesses and diseases. And one of those major ailments is the question of cancer. Cancer, yes. Let me just point out one specific, two major spices that we use on a daily basis, but we're not aware of the role they play in our diet. For example, cloves. Cloves have been demonstrated to have anti-cancer properties. But we don't use clove every day, do we?
No, we don't.
Why not? We can. We just choose not to. You can put clove in any of your beverages. You put it in your eggnog. You put it in your rum punch. You put it to season your meat, right? Or your hams. And where else do you use it? It stops there, Andre.
Well, that's true too.
Hence the reason why the new mantra for us has to be, spice up your life, I love spice. Spice up your life, I love spice. And by that we mean, every day, each of us should seek to use, I would say, anywhere between 3 to 5 different spices in our diets. One way or the other. But let me give you a second example of an anti-cancer herb that we use, or spice that we use in Grenada, and we're not aware of its anti-cancer properties. Garlic.
I love garlic.
Great.
I love garlic.
Great.
Garlic is I have a passion for
Do you
garlic.
use it every day? No.
No.
Right.
But when I use it,
Yes.
I use it in abundance. I think I
Well,
overboard.
Specifically, it's been demonstrated to have anti-prostate cancer properties.
Is it?
Yes. The literature says so. Yes. Hence the reason why garlic is another of the spices we should try and use on a daily basis. Very important. Right? Let me just give you one other or two others quickly, but there may be others as well. Just in mentioning fennel. Fennel we use in our beverages as a spice.
Say that again?
Fennel.
Fennel.
It's a Swedish tasting spice.
Okay.
We grow a small quantity, but not in an abundance. And then the last one I want to mention is mustard.
Mustard.
Yes.
Okay.
And mustard has anti-bladder cancer properties.
But we don't. Do we grow mustard seeds there?
Yeah, we have mustard here.
We do.
We don't use it. That's the challenge.
I mean, and then again, I because I'm the kind of I believe that I'm a weird person in that mustard is something that I like.
Yes.
I go overboard with mustard.
The mustard, you know, is the paste we make with mustard seed, right?
Yeah, the thing in the bottle.
But that's just part of it, Andre. The mustard leaf is very bitter tasting and has significant anti-diabetic properties to it.
Are you kidding me? Where's the tree?
Come by AV, you'll see a specimen of it.
Oh, you have it at your plot?
Yes.
But is it something that is widely grown in Grenada?
No, because I was speaking with a farmer, Brother John Lewis, recently. He was he passes and we chat every time. And in speaking, he said we are talking about the various substances or material we could use to deal with diabetes. And then he talked about the corilla, right? And then he mentioned mustard leaf. And I said, mustard leaf? Yeah, I have that right here. And when I pulled 3 plants out of the ground, I gave it to him. He said he knew that when he was growing as a kid, but he lost it, over the years.
He lost a plant?
Yes, he lost a plant. And so here he has 3 young plants now that's going to provide for him.
How did you come by the plant?
I came by it by one of my neighbors in Butch Grove. She had this thing growing wild in her yard.
What?
And she said, we do eat that as spinach, they cook it. But you want to know the truth? I eat it raw. The leaf is bitter, but it's very good. And I gave it to my sister recently, and she requested more of it because it does have that effect.
Medicinal properties.
Yes.
That is rather interesting.
Yes. So here we are in an environment where we can produce a wide range of spices, and we do produce many of them. We would not produce the mustard on a large scale. We would not produce fennel on a large scale, but we have cloves. We do not produce garlic, but we buy a lot of garlic. We use it almost on a daily basis in our cooking.
We do? Well, we're supposed to. I know I do, not every day, but whenever I cook,
right.
Garlic is a mainstay.
Which is why I keep emphasizing that we as a people, we need to be using a minimum of 3 to 5 spices every day in our diets. Because some of the compounds in one spice are present in other spices as well. And so the overlap of the particular ingredients in the various spices would help to boost the health benefits obtained from the combination of spices you use.
We have a call online. Let's see who that is. Could be Dalton. Oh, no. That's somebody who was there and the person left.
Okay.
As you said, he might check in.
Yes, he said
There's
so.
a possibility that he will check in. Great. Now, one of the reasons that we have these programs at least once a month with you is to implore upon people the need, especially those who grow spices, the need to attend the meetings in Grenville. Are you having a meeting this Thursday?
Yes, there will be a meeting this
Today?
evening at 5 o'clock yesterday.
5 o'clock?
Upper level Baines Hall. Yeah.
How's been your turnout so far?
So far, it's been, in my opinion, satisfactory. But there have been fluctuation in terms of the number of people who came. So sometimes we have a large number of people coming because of curiosity and then they disappear. And then you have this core group of people who are always
There's
there.
always
Yes.
a core.
Yes.
There's always a core. The thing is, though, it's one thing to tell a person about growing spices.
Right.
But the other thing is that, because I had a neighbor of mine went off to Maribor a couple of days ago to get some plants. And I said to him, are you going now? He says, yeah, usually they have, man, they have. And he got a few, but he was disappointed in that he didn't get enough of what he wanted on maybe some of what he needed to get. And I'm bringing this up to substantiate the point that it's okay to talk the spices, Doc, but if you don't have the spices to walk the walk that you're talking, that's the problem.
It's a challenge, yes, it's a challenge, but we have done better than that, Andre. Last year and this year, we literally bought as many of the spices we could have afforded to buy and distributed to many of our farmers, and we'll continue to do that. For a couple of reasons, but the primary reason is to ensure that we have a continuous source of our spices readily available for the market. That's the long-term goal, okay? And of course, the short-term intermediate goal. But here is an additional benefit that we're not consciously aware of. The more trees we plant in our soils, the greater the amount of carbon dioxide we can help to extract from our environment. And you know, carbon dioxide is one of those green gases that's been affecting and having the effect of global warming, right? Yeah. So if we're in the process of cutting down trees, we basically would be in the process of helping to increase the volume or the amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. But the mere fact that we're planting trees every day, right, does add to the benefit of being able to absorb more of that carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. You know, people don't see it. It might seem small given the scale of Grenada's, geography, but it does have the effect of helping to clean the atmosphere of some of that carbon dioxide. So that's not just the ocean around us absorbing carbon dioxide. So the more trees we have, the more of that will help to extract from the environment, which is why people go all out to create all various means of helping to extract carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, because it's been demonstrated that carbon dioxide has contributed significantly to the global warming problem we have. And so by planting the trees, we may not see, it may be inconsiderable, may be insignificant, but it would have ultimately that effect if we were able to increase or mass the number of cinnamon or spice trees, not cinnamon trees, that we plant in our lands. So for every tree you cut down, for example, I would say plant 3 or 5 trees, Well, that's my mantra anyway. So you cut down 1 cinnamon tree today, plant 3, 4, 5 clove trees, plant pimento trees, and at least, of course, the cinnamon has a way of quickly regenerating itself. So that's an advantage we have.
We have a call just tapping in. Good morning.
Good morning to you, gentlemen.
Hold on. Let me get Dr. Entwine to put on one of our headphones here. Doc, try that one close to you. Let me see. Yeah, that one. Yeah, you can go with that one. Then let me see if that one is going to fit the profile for you this morning. You will not be hearing anything at this particular time. You should be hearing something now. Are you hearing that? You're not. Hold on, Clifford. Stay right there. Don't move a muscle. I'm trying to ensure that Dr. Entwine hears me. You're not hearing anything. Okay. Give me a minute, Clifford. Stay right there. Don't you move a muscle. This is real. This is 91.9, 91.5, www.realfmgrenada.com. Broadcasting from studios located right here in beautiful historical St. Patrick's. Stay with us, friends. We will be right back.
Yes, agriculture is the number one. Number one, yes, the number one. Oh yes, the number one. It's the number one. Why you disown agriculture? I'm talking to the youths of this nation. And those wicked politicians, like they want to structure the plan. Well, from here to the revolution, agriculture was on top. Man Jack and didn't do too bad. After that, you know the whole thing flop. Why? Everybody want to sit down in computer, and they forget agriculture. Oh yes, everybody want to sit down in computer. Agriculture, and they forget Oh yes, everybody want to sit down in computer. You only do without clothes and they forget agriculture. Everybody want to sit down in computer. I tell you just now, my brothers, all you know is them computers. To ship plenty nectars.
Okay, I believe that I've solved the problem. Good morning, Bertrand John. How are you doing this morning, sir?
Morning, Andrew. Morning to the listening public. I am doing fine.
And of course, friends, you know, we already have established the fact that Dr. Twine is in studio with us. We got Clifford Bridgman online. I'm hoping he wasn't calling from a cell phone. Good morning, Clifford.
Good morning to you, Mr. Andrew Donald, and to the other personnel in the studio.
Mm-hmm. Morning, Clifford.
Right. To Dr. Antoine, and after I say what to him, I would like to say something to you, Mr. Andre, in connection with the lady you had on the program there. First of all, Mr. Antoine, you were saying that some of the attendance to the meetings is not always what is expected, and some people come for curiosity. I am believing that some of the persons that given the invitation, when it goes on air and so, are not giving the right information, are not really helping people to want to come to the meeting. And one of my reasons for that is, I heard an announcement of a meeting for agriculture personnel, and they say for young people that's interested in agriculture. Now, if you're going to specify the young people that's interested in agriculture and you leave off generally the people that's in agriculture already, you could possess a problem. If you're going to have it in one parish and people, you can tell them how they will get transportation to go to come to the meeting and back all, you're going to consider another problem. So you have people not wanting to go, and when they go, they don't get the substance that they expected from the meeting. So I think.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I think better advertisement need to be given when meetings for agriculture.
Yeah.
When you have whatever grouping you have, and you want to have the meeting for agriculture, the message should be really spelled out to people.
Yeah.
But it's interesting you say this, Clifford, because, and I take umbrage with this one, because when the meetings are being announced in relation to the spice meetings, that is held once a month,
yeah.
the announcement comes from here and only here. So but I get where you're coming from, because the other announcement that comes from other places, yes, they do speak to young people, but we do not differentiate. We invite people based on information given by Dr. Entwine. We invite people to these meetings on Thursdays whenever they're held.
Third Thursday every month.
Third Thursday in every month. So if we seem to be talking to young people only, then it means we have to change our MO. And we will do so and look at it and do some changes.
Right.
Also,
listen to Dr. Entwine, Cliff.
Clifford, thanks for the comments. But also, one of the things we try to do at the end of each of our meetings is to ensure every attendant gets home safely. So we go out of our way to drop them off wherever they live.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that's something we've been doing. Because we are aware of the difficulties when it comes to transportation in the evening, after 6, 7.
Yeah.
So, but I'm glad you raised the point, and therefore we have to make sure that we are much more consciously aware of the choice of words we use when talking about the meetings. But certainly, we don't appeal to just the youth. We appeal to all the people interested in farming, into farming. So, or people who would like to get into farming as well.
Right, and I say that within the background that the government have been preaching a lot about agriculture, but we have not seen any emphasis any real program to send that message to people. The last Minister of Agriculture did a lot of it, talk a lot about meetings and meetings and meetings. Nothing much come out of it. We're starting up now with a new Minister of Agriculture, our next Minister of Agriculture, and the message doesn't really stimulate anything. We need to stimulate people back into agriculture. Right? Now to Mr. Andre, the lady that spoke just now about climate change and adoption and the way the loans go in the Grenada Development Bank. Nice getting the information from her. But listen to something that happened. There's a big stone that roll, they have not rolled it, behind my house, which could cause a lot of problems to these persons underneath are going low down my. I reported it to the minister in the area. She sent a gentleman to look at it. The gentleman sent the road officer. The road officer came and looked at it. They decided that the most suitable thing to do is to dig a hole and bury the stone in. Because if it gets away from there, it can cause hazard to houses at the bottom. Very large stone. All effort was made. There was a tractor walking in the area at the time. The road officers said that they would engage the tractor because they want the tractor to do some work for them on the bottom side there. All that was said. Nothing has been done. We back into the rain season again. Yes, if that stone gets away, it's going to cause that problem. So I am saying that within what the lady was talking about climate change and about adoption and whatnot. I went to the highest level because the minister sent somebody, the person come to see it. Nothing. I have gone back into the minister's office about 3 or 4 times. Nothing. Where do we stand when things like those happen? If that stone gets away from there, we have about 5 or 6 houses down there. And going down or lower down, you have other houses. That can be damaged. Effort was made. You know, the technical people realize what is to be done. Nothing has been done. I would want to contact the lady you spoke to find out what from the climate change adoption, right? What can be done? Because it is posing a hazard to other persons down there.
Well,
and
in relation
I'm saying
to
that we doesn't seem to have this proper follow-up of the ministry as well.
In relation to that, Cliff, she was speaking on behalf of the Grenada Development Bank, and that's a financial institution. I don't know if they can come out and do anything like that. The bank would not be able to do that. I don't think the bank is able to do that. However, one of the things I did speak to her about is having very strong community groups. And if you have very strong functioning community groups, what can happen is that if the group was to write a project and write that project to an agency or even to the bank and say, hey, this is what is and this is what can happen, and show the bank, maybe the bank might find a loophole for that community group, or the bank may be able to make a contribution to that community group so as to alleviate that problem. But it goes back to strength in relation to community groups, and this is why a lot of people these days, you don't find a lot of people wanting to be in groups and organizations. And what you are saying right now, Bridget, it speaks to vibrant groups and organizations. But then again, as you started to say, the Minister for Agriculture did a lot of lip service. What makes you think that this minister is not lip service too? Because she's in climate change in your constituency.
Yes, right.
All right. So it could be lip service again.
It could be. I'm not doubting it. But and let me tell you the essential of that place there. There's a road that goes inside of Douglaston, comes back underneath there, and goes right out back to the park. And the minister, the past minister, which is Mr. Dabrio, walked that twice and agreed that something will be done there. Walk that road site from on top of the hill here and go down. And that would bring you right back inside, almost inside the park, or right on to the, well, you could say right on to the pavilion of the park there. So it is an essential place.
Okay.
All right.
All right, Cliff, thank
Thank
you. All right, great. Surreal is 91.9, 91.5. BJ, did I say good morning to you? Yes, I did.
You did.
Okay. What's popping now?
What's popping?
Yeah, what's popping on your side?
What's popping is the listening conversation this morning, Andrew. And we seem to have an implementation problem in Grenada.
Mm-hmm.
We, identify the problem. We decide on the solution. And when it comes to implementing that solution, that's where we seem to get stuck. Like, for example, the spice industry. I think that can be multi-million, multi-billion dollars industry.
Mm-hmm.
And if we set it up properly, we have our nutmegs already established. We have some of the best clove in the world. We have all other things, that we can seriously utilize to make money. And we don't seem to taking it serious. We really need to have definite plan as to how we develop in those sectors. And keep clamoring about that, but nobody will listening to me. We're still functioning too, haywire. We're still functioning too wild. We need to have definite roadmap as to where we're going with those things. The days where people collecting 2-3 plants and sticking it in the backyard and some little corner in the farm, those kind of farming, Andrew, done years ago. The world is a more scientific, systematic, planned place. And we're still functioning as though we live in, in the 14th century.
19.
We need to do a bit better than that. We need to identify those places where we're going to develop those things and seriously invest and develop it properly and stop this, lip service and, making people, running a wild goose chase. You're not going to catch up with anything.
Let me just highlight 2 things here. Yes, there are quite a number. We are, as a people, we are well known for backyard gardening. And I think we need to distinguish between the backyard gardening done as a hobby, or just a pastime, as opposed to people who are actively involved in the farming activity as a means of livelihood. Yeah. And yes, you're right. The approach we take to the farming as a livelihood is still archaic. I wouldn't say 14th century, but it's archaic. And part of that problem is the fact that we do not have a national developmental plan for agriculture. Neither do we have a national developmental plan, if you ask me, for manufacturing. And then the question becomes, do we have one for economic development? I'm not sure. I haven't seen one. I haven't heard about a written plan with specific objectives, measurable, achievable objectives, etc., etc.
If there was one, you was going to know.
That's what I'm saying. So based on that, it behoves you and me to initiate the change that you and I believe need to take place. Okay. Hence the reason why ABE has embarked on developing the Isle of Spice Flavors business, which would encompass the issue of spice production, spice processing, and the essential oil production as well, because the two go hand in hand. With the objective being here that we should be able to sell our spices, increase the production of our various spices, putting aside the nutmeg, but the cinnamon, the clove, the ginger, the turmeric, etc., pimento. And at the same time, all the waste material from those spices we believe should be used for the extraction of the essential oils. And that's what we embarked on. The dual rail of spice production, processing, marketing, and the issue of essential oil production. And we've been doing some experimental work on that for the last 2 or 3 years, to the point where we are currently in the process of procuring well, we've halfway there because we made the necessary down payment. The equipment is being built for us for essential oil distillation. So it's a larger scale still that we'll have for producing essential oil, hopefully of a much better quality than we currently are able to. But what our experimental work has done is to demonstrate, yes, the potential exists for extracting the essential oils from the waste material from the cinnamon leaves, the bark, the neem, kakabeke, etc., etc. And so ultimately we should be able to use the waste material coming from the clove plant, the pimento plant, the cinnamon plant, and make sure that farmers have that additional potential source of income from the activity. But it goes back to whether or not the person is actively involved in farming, in which case I say we have a serious handicap: the absence of an agricultural institution that trains people to practice scientific agriculture, produce experts in the area of agriculture so that we could help some of our farmers solve their problems, and more importantly, do some of the essential research work necessary to solve some of the problems our farmers have. There is no reason why to date our farm school is not one of the best in the Caribbean. And that's the reason why I preach the importance of revamping that institution and making it into an agricultural college and university, so that at the end of the day, one of its primary focus is research. To the extent that, let's say, one of the major problems we have in Grenada is wood ants and termites.
Mm-hmm.
And you're telling me that we're not able to find some natural agent within all the fauna we have here, or flora, that could act as an anti-termite, anti-wood ant agent? There must be.
Well,
but research like this,
Malaton, you have to bring in Malaton.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's what we're trying to move away from.
Yeah.
So that farm school should be able to produce the research results that we can then apply using natural products from our own environment to protect our farmers from the infestation of wood ants and termites, and even mosquitoes. Controlling mosquitoes is a big problem. We still have to buy this foreign imported coins.
Yeah.
So the point I'm making here is, if you're really serious about agriculture, it is essential that you have an agricultural institute whose focus is that of training people in the area of agriculture in the widest sense of the word.
You can use fiber for getting rid of sandflies. We've got. I thought we had a caller. Sorry.
But the more important aspect of that is the need for that institution to be doing the R&D essential for solving the problems plaguing our agriculture. But sorry, go ahead.
See, Andre.
BJ?
Research and development is extremely important. We're not paying enough emphasis on those things. Andre, the reason why I clamoring about agriculture year after year is because I know there are opportunities that can be created from that sector. And if we utilize that sector properly, Andre, we can help solve our economic problem, our employment problem. We're not creating enough opportunities in those sectors. We're still traditional. The way we function, we still take our raw produce and send it abroad for somebody to process it for us.
And send back the end product
for us. How are you going to develop and how are you going to make money? Primary producers cannot determine price, The man who manufacturing are the one that determine the price.
Yeah. And that legacy has been something from way back colonialism, where we are asked to producing the raw sugar, the raw cotton, the tobacco, etc., exporting it to England. They developed the industries, manufacturing, processing the cotton, the tobacco, the sugar, refining it, and selling it back to us.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And we still cannot shake out of that colonial legacy. And not because we cannot,
We don't want to?
No, not that we don't want to,
What is it?
We're too obsessed with personal ambitions as opposed to national ambitions. We still do not have a regional transportation service that serves the islands, not by the air, properly that is, not by air, not by sea. We still do not have a proper domestic transportation service within Grenada, so that a worker coming from St. George's on evenings still has to scrunt to get a ride so that they could get home in St. Patrick's, only to wake up in the morning to go back to St. George's and then have to go through the same process again, day after day after day. In other words, some of the essentialities necessary for economic development, one of which is developing our agricultural sector. The other aspect is that of a reliable transportation service, not just for passengers, Andre, but for movement of produce as well, you know. So imagine I have to come from Butch Grove, spend $5 to come and sell 10 pounds of nutmeg in Grenville every day, or every week, once a week. How does that serve the farmer's interest? When Butch Grove has a receiving station specifically designed for buying the produce from the farmer in Butch Grove. Are we moving forward? We are, in essence, 50 years behind where we should be in terms of economic development. 50 years. And therefore, we have to double up our efforts to catch up.
Let me give you an example, Andrew, just before you run into this. Doc said we're 50 years behind. I think more like 100. 30 years ago, I got involved in hydroponics. And I used to sell stuff for marketing board. And some farmers who, reactionary, who really don't understand development, they would say, BJ growing chemical food and marketing board shouldn't buy it and all of those things. 30 years later, those same farmers are the ones who are coming to me and asking me how to do, how to set up a hydroponic system. Well, Andre, they would be 30 years late. If you're 30 years later, you're going to make money. You have to be trendsetters to make money. You have to be pioneers.
You speak about
you have to be innovative.
You speak about us being, living in the past. And I always draw my thing with this. Many years ago, when I was growing in St. George's, my uncle, who still lives in St. George's in the Westall area, Woodlands, Westall area. And he used to come sometimes on Friday evenings to take me to the movies, and we'll go to drive-in. He had a small Ford bus, so he'd take me to drive-in cinema. And of course it's drive-in, so you park up and you take your speaker and you put it inside and you're watching the movie and you're hearing from the speaker that is right, inside your vehicle right there. When you finish, you put back the speaker and then you go on about your business and drive out and you go. That was 40 years ago, 40, 45 years ago. Today, there's no drive-in cinema and we have more vehicles now. So something that you expected to grow.
Go figure.
you just regressed.
Technology.
And I don't know.
And we have to keep our brains. Doc was talking about our institution where we need to train people to do things in a scientific way so that we can propel in the area of interest. And you can outrule those kind of things, Andre. The resources cannot be too much to spend in those areas because you're going to get development and you get tangible benefit from those things in the end. Yep. It's like spending money on, say, preventative medicine and curative medicine. If you spend it on preventative medicine, chances are you require less money and the impact will be greater.
Correct. Very correct. Hence the reason why we try to highlight the importance of spicing up your life, I love spice. Because at the end of the day, the spices have significant attributes to them that actively work to help protect from infections, for example, or the development of certain ailments, including diabetes, including cancer, So it behoves us to begin in an active way to highlight the importance of using our spices on a daily basis as a preventative health measure versus the curative measure where you have to outlay X amount of dollars to go buy medicines that have significant side effects, right? You have to pay off the bills the doctors will charge for a whole range of, diagnostic tests, etc., etc. So if, as a people, we begin to more actively use more of our spice on a daily basis, you would find that we'll have significant benefits in terms of reduction in number of infections. For example, nasal infections, coals, etc. And it would help our economy in terms of less reliance of imported drugs, for example. So that if let's suppose more and more of our people decide that on a daily basis we're going to use our garlic, we're going to use our ginger, we're going to use our turmeric for the various effects they have on our health, then you find you'll have less people with serious diabetic problems. You'll have less people with prostate cancer problems, for example. Less people with other cancers and other inflammatory diseases. So it's important that as a people, we need to recognize, acknowledge, and actively indulge in the greater use of our spices on a daily basis.
Here's something that Johnny Charles, good morning, Johnny. Johnny's always listening and always has a contribution silently that he makes. And I'm going to give him credit for this one, of course, as I always do. And to paraphrase here, Johnny's saying, Andre, it's kind of strange that the people who colonized us, they used our spices or our spice to make monies and to develop themselves. And today, we are not understanding, and we have not understood as yet, the need to use our spices to develop us. We're not doing it.
Andrew, they're still doing. They still import our stuff, and they do it what? In 14 something or whatever, and take all resources and go back a yard with it. And they're doing it too. They make us do it voluntarily now, Before they used to put chain on us and make us pack the boat and whatever. They take out that chain, and they put it on we head,
They get a forklift.
How are you say, man?
Yeah,
and today, they give you a little bit of machine there. Say, yo, load it up and put it on some, boat for us, and we get it the same way. Yeah. Andre, it's a mental thing.
Crazy.
It's mental.
But then again, I always go back to what is. Excuse me. Excuse me. Yeah, sorry guys. I always go back to what is our TM Irish Community College today. From persons who have lectured and continue to lecture at TAMCC, there are so many different prototypes that have been developed by children based on whatever science project that they have to do. And these prototypes are locked away in a cupboard at TAMCC. And this person who told me this, said to me, look, I believe that there are prototypes there that can revolutionize things in Grenada in relation to agriculture and other things. And I believe them.
Andrew, that's why you have science fair, and that's why you have agriculture show, and all of those things. And if this synchronized properly and planned properly, out of those things, Andrew, you can patent certain things, and you never know. Those things can generate serious revenue by basically patenting those things. All of a sudden, other countries gravitate towards that, and your ideas, Andrew, and you know what it's like.
IP. I sent you a document last week via email.
Email? No, I didn't look. Sorry.
One of the points made in that document was the essentiality of science fair, an annual science fair. A whole week of scientific activity, one day dedicated to Careers Day, so that our people are now or will be exposed to the range of career possibilities within the realm of science. As it stands, our people are only exposed to the career paths of police officer, nurse, medical doctor, lawyer. What's the other one? Hardly anybody talks about being a farmer,
Nope.
Nobody talks about being a scientist.
Nobody wants to dress their child up like that.
All right.
Are you crazy?
So the idea was, if we really want to move our country forward, I believe it's essential that we have a Ministry of Science and Technology whose primary focus is to build that science culture within our society, making use of the various institutions and enhancing and developing the institutions we currently have. That's where we begin from. We have to begin from where you are. But building on those institutions so that at the end of the day we can begin to have our national annual science fairs, right? Bringing in lecturers and speakers from a wide range of areas, regionally specific.
You have to bring them in. We have them here.
Well, including, of course, our
Are
local
you dead?
scientists.
You're not dead.
Well, I'm just one person. And we need
Yes,
more,
but there are others.
We need more BJs.
BJ
We
is
need
not
more
dead.
Dr. Telesford. We need.
BJ is not dead.
Yes.
There are others. There are
Right,
others
so-
who can do it.
Right, but the international prestige that you would have when you bring in scientists from Jamaica, say for example, or Trinidad and Barbados, would be greater than just doing everybody local. But what's important is that during that period of scientific activity, our students are exposed to a range of personnel with whom they can build a network. So that down the road they have people they can touch base with for a wide range of issues. Collaborative work in research, collaborative work in investment, in business, in enterprise, etc., etc.
Go on.
But I believe that Ministry of Science and Technology would be a key factor in helping to transform our agricultural sector, in helping to provide that material base for the economic development, because at the end of the day, agriculture would prosper when we begin to industrialize and process our own agricultural produce.
30 seconds, BJ.
I'll give Doc the 30 seconds. I'll pass that.
Give him?
Yeah, give him that.
So you wrap up.
I wrap up
Right,
a
you
long
wrap up.
time.
Doc,
Yeah,
a minute.
Thanks, Andre. Andre, we are at a junction where we have to begin to acknowledge the fact that we are not where we ought to be in terms of our socioeconomic development. 1, 2. We need to identify our major shortcomings. And one of the major shortcomings is our emphasis on and recognition of the role of science in our economic development. But more importantly, we need to begin to focus our expenditures, budgetary expenditures, on building the essential infrastructure that's necessary for moving our economy forward. And a major part of that has to be the need for, 1, a serious agricultural college. 2, rehabilitate all the abandoned processing of assets that we have here, like Mali oil plant, right? And 3, we have to build our infrastructure, transportation infrastructure, and we have to make financing much easier for people already in business wanting to expand and grow their investment. And hearing the government cannot stand aside and say that all goes on the shoulders of the private investor. Hence the reason why at the end of the day, if we're going to move forward, it's essential we have a serious economic plan of which agriculture and manufacturing will play major roles. And hence the reason why, another reason why we have to emphasize the importance of staying healthy by spicing up our life. Isla Spice.
Isla Spice. Staying healthy by spicing up our life. Isla Spice. You've got your meeting this evening, Doc, and the meeting is at what time again?
5 o'clock, Baines Hall.
And you expect good turnout?
Good turnout.
Your first meeting for the year?
For the year, very correct.
Great.
Very thanks for the reminder. Cheers. And
Doctor,
the focus would be on the health benefits of the spices.
Of spices.
Yeah.
Now, how much acres of spice we have cultivated so far?
That's the information I'm trying to gather right now. We don't have that kind of data. We once had someone who started the process, but we didn't get too far with it. Okay. Yeah.
Dr. Entwine, BJ, don't move yet, man. Just relax now. Just sit down and take a greeting, Bridging. Dr. Entwine, BJ, and to all the others who made it possible this morning, I say thank you so very much. And here's hoping that you have a wonderful day. Thanks for viewing our channel, and as we say, continue to like, share, subscribe to our channel, and to grow the channel. Only us can grow this and make it something big, what it really should be. Agriculture will return next Thursday, God's willing. Goodbye. God bless you, and take care, friends. Remember, those of you who have to go to the meeting this afternoon, it's at 5:30. 5
yes.
At Baines Upper Level inside of St. Andrew. BJ, again, thanks, brother.
Welcome, boss.
Oh, okay then. Great. This is Real 91.9. Stay with us.
Thank you very much, Andre.
Yes, agriculture is the number one.
Triple N. Informative, entertaining, and first. Every hour on the hour.
This is the latest news update as produced by Triple N. The details when I return.
In an industry where customers expect quality, M&N Hardware Limited is a leader in locally manufactured aluminum windows, doors, roofing, and guttering. Our manufacturing division is efficient, flexible, and will always go the extra mile to surpass customer expectations. If you need security, sash, casement, or projected windows, we're able to do it. Our security and heavy-duty doors are state-of-the-art and can be customized specifically for you. Using innovative coating technologies and protective film, our roofing and guttering is weather-resistant, providing outstanding color retention for many years. Available in 24 and 26 gauge and a variety of color options. We are the leading company, a family that is proving to customers they can have their dream products. M&N Hardware Limited. Foundation to roof, let's build together.
Welcome back. Dubbed the Young Entrepreneurs in Agriculture and Agribusiness Project, the Ministry of Agriculture is hosting a series of consultations involving youth in agriculture. In the region in St. Lucia,